As we were preparing for the Advent season, talking with the diaconate, they suggested that it would be nice to tell the stories of some of the people involved in the original Christmas story, and we're going to do that over the next few weeks, starting with Zechariah's story today. So some of you are going to eventually be asked to take part in this, but today Dennis Moreau is going to help me out with it. In thinking about the story of Zechariah, I figured the thing we know more about him than anything else is that for a while he couldn't speak. So I think Zechariah, I'm going to portray him today as a silent person who keeps his thoughts to himself pretty much. So this is Zechariah's story.
Excuse me, sir. Are you the priest Zechariah?
Yes.
You are the father of John, the one they call the Baptist?
Yes.
Your son is making quite a splash.
This may not come as a surprise to you, but I've heard that joke before.
Yes, I suppose so. Can you tell me exactly what he is trying to say?
Have you heard him speak?
Yes. I went to the desert and listened to him for a week.
Then you know what he was trying to say.
Well, he says that the Messiah is coming soon, and we should prepare for that. Did you teach him that?
No, not really.
What do you think of that idea?
What idea?
That we are about to enter the age of the Messiah. That everything will change.
I hope it's true.
Do you think it is? What about his bizarre behavior?
Bizarre behavior? I don't know what you mean.
Well, he lives in the desert. He doesn't have anything, hardly even clothing. I'm told he eats whatever he can find out there, even locusts. Does he roast them first?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what I think. I think he's trying to act like the ancient prophet Elijah. Is that what he's doing?
You spent a week with him? You tell me.
Okay, here's what I think. I think he's got some good things to say. I hope he's right, too. That the Messiah, the Savior of our people, is soon going to appear. I hope it's true. And some people are saying that he actually is a reincarnation of Elijah. Listen, here's why I want to talk to you. I am told there is something remarkable that happened when he was born. Maybe something that tells us if he is Elijah, come back to life. I'm told you had a vision in the temple. Is that right?
I don't like to talk about it.
Please, would you tell me what happened? I don't know what to think about all this. It would help me to know more about it all.
All right, I'll tell you, but I want your full attention. So sit down here and listen. I was in the temple, like you say. It was my turn to light the incense for the altar. This is done every day as a symbol of the prayers of the people rising to God. It's an important task, and it has to be gone about in a very certain, careful way. And while I was doing that, I became aware that I wasn't alone. Someone else was in that closed room with me, and I couldn't see anything or anyone at first, but eventually I saw a man, I think, standing off to the right. It became more clear as I talked with him and watched him, and finally he spoke to me, and he said, "Zechariah, your prayers have been answered."
What prayer?
I'll tell you. If you'll listen, I'll tell you. I was praying the ritual prayers, lifting the peoples to God, asking for forgiveness and protection. But while I was doing this, I suppose God heard the prayer of my own heart.
What prayer?
A prayer for my wife Elizabeth. We had no children, and now it was too late for that. We were too old. So I suppose that my desire was still in my heart, and God heard that. So I was deeply moved when this messenger from God said that Elizabeth and I would have a child. He said the child would be a joy and a delight to all who would know him, and that he would grow to be a servant of God, and that he would bring the people back to love for God and love for each other.
You were happy about this?
Of course I was happy about this, but my faith faltered. I doubted it. I didn't see how it could be so. Elizabeth had never been able to bear a child, and now that she was old, well, I had doubts.
With an angel from God standing right in front of you?
Yes, I must admit it. It's my sorrow. God gave me a message of great joy, and I had to take it apart and see if it would work.
Did you make the angel mad?
Maybe. I don't know. But here's what the angel said. That I wouldn't be able to speak again until the child was born, and we named him John.
Then what?
Then I went out of the holy place, and I guess I passed out. When I came to, everyone was gathered around, and they asked if I had seen a vision, but I couldn't tell them. It was as if my thoughts wouldn't line up. I understood what they were saying, but I couldn't get my mouth to form words. So began my time of silence. And Elizabeth got pregnant.
How did that happen?
How do you think? I couldn't talk. Everything else worked.
Oh. Then what?
Well, then I learned to shut up and listen. A lesson many people could learn.
What did you learn?
I learned that God was in many places and in many people. I learned that women have great strength. I learned that being a man didn't mean being hard on other people. I learned that God is beautiful. I came to see that God was not distant, but here, working in this world, if we could hear it and see it, and that I should talk less, listen more.
Your son, John the Baptist, is a shouter. I've heard him. He has lots to say. He's a talker, not a listener. What do you think about that?
I think that he spends time out in the desert alone so he can listen to God rather than to people with lots of questions.
I guess I should get going.
All right.
It's been great getting to know you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. And get ready.
For what?
John is right, you know. The chosen one is coming. The Christ is coming, God's anointed, and everything's going to be made new. And everything that's on top now is going to be on the bottom, and everything that's on the bottom is going to be lifted to the top. And the blind will see, and the deaf will hear, and those who can't speak will have their mouths open. So be ready. Goodbye. Shh, shh, shh. Listen. Amen.
You've been listening to a sermon by Reverend Stephen Carnahan, pastor of High Street Congregational Church in Auburn, Maine. If you feel inspired by what you hear, you're invited to join us in person for worship services every Sunday morning, starting at 10 o'clock. Of course, you can always listen to Steve's sermons on the web. New sermons are posted every Monday by midday. Please explore this website for more information about our church, or visit our Facebook page at High Street Congregational Church, UCC, where you'll find the video version of Steve's sermons as well. We hope that God's presence will be known to you every hour of every day. May God's blessings rest upon you now and always. See you next week.